Good morning, class. We'll continue with the chapter Lines and Angles. Firstly, we'll have a quick revision of the topics we have covered till now, and then we'll learn about the properties related to the transversal of parallel lines. So let's begin.
So now we know what a line is, and when two such lines intersect each other, angles are formed. Now we have few basic types of angles like acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle. Even when we have a straight line, it forms an angle of 180 degrees. But then, ever wondered how to form an angle which is greater than 180 degrees and less than 360? Well, it is simple. These angles are called as reflex angles. So, till now, we were talking about only one angle. But when I draw one ray somewhere between the angle, now we have two angles which have one ray in common. Right? And such kind of angles are called as adjacent angles. Now these adjacent angles can be of various types and different measures. But when the addition of the adjacent angles is 90 degrees, they are called as complementary angles. And if their addition is 180 degrees, then they are known as supplementary angles. Another way of calling supplementary angles is a linear pair of angles. As of now, there was only one ray standing on the line and we call it as supplementary angles. What if there are various lines because of which various angles are formed? Well then, all the addition of the angles will be 180 degree. And will we call all these angles as supplementary angles? The addition of all the angles will be 180 degrees. But all of these angles in together, we will not call them as supplementary angles. Let's see a few of these day-to-day images. Well, in here, one more type of angle can be observed, and these are called as vertically opposite angles. Now here the fun fact is that the vertically opposite angles are always equal. Now if you don't believe me, I can prove that for you. Now suppose there is line L and M intersecting each other and forming vertically opposite angles. So in here we can see that angle A plus angle B will be equal to 180 degrees and angle B plus angle C will also be equal to 180 degrees. And the reason for both of them is linear pair of angles, right? Since the right hand side is equal, we can say that the left hand side is also equal. So from 1 and 2, so angle A plus angle B will be equal to angle B plus angle C. Now if we subtract angle B from both these sides, we can see that angle A is equal to angle C. Now in a similar way, you can also prove that angle B is equal to angle D. Here I just proved that vertically opposite angles are equal to each other. Till now we have learned that there are various types of angles, and we know that the angles can be formed only if the lines are intersecting. But what do you think? When will two lines never intersect? Well, in case 1, if we extend these lines, they will eventually meet at some or the other point. But in case 2, these lines will never intersect because they are parallel lines. Now just imagine this like a railway track. Two tracks are always running parallel to each other, but they never intersect or meet each other. So till now we have only two lines intersecting each other, forming one angle. What happens when we have three lines? How will they intersect with each other? Let's see what are the various permutations and combinations related to the various angles that are formed. Now, any of these three possibilities can occur. Well, in case 3, we have 6 angles formed, and this look very similar to the vertically opposite angles that we just studied. And you can find these angles when you eat your next pizza. Now in case 1, we can see that there are 8 angles have formed. Angle A, B, G and H are called as exterior angles because they are outside the lines, and angle C, D, E and F are called as interior angles because they are inside or between both the lines. Further, we have corresponding angles, alternate interior angles on the same side of the transversal, or they are also called as consecutive interior angles, allied angles or co-interior angles. But what happens to these angles when these two lines are parallel? Now, for instance, let's look outside the window. Oh wait, why don't we look at the window only? In here also, we can see that there are two parallel lines and a transversal is passing through the parallel lines. So now what do you think? What happens to the angles formed? Now here, all the pairs of corresponding angles will be equal to each other. So, from this, we can conclude that when a transversal cuts two parallel lines, then each of the corresponding angles are equal. But then what happened to the various other types of angles we just saw? Let's have a look at the alternate interior angles also. What do you think? Can they be equal too? We can prove it in just two simple steps. We know that angle A will be equal to angle E because they are corresponding angles. But angle A will be also equal to angle C because they are vertically opposite angles. So, from 1 and 2, we can say that angle E will be equal to angle C. So, here we can conclude that if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of alternate interior angles is equal. And we have one more property about interior angles, which say that when the two lines are parallel, then the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Here it just means that the addition of angle C plus angle F will be equal to 180 degree and the addition of angle D and angle E will be equal to 180 degree. Now there is a very simple explanation for this. Angle C plus angle B will be equal to 180 degrees. And we know that angle B is equal to angle F because they are corresponding angles. And hence, we can say that the addition of angle C plus angle F will be equal to 180 degrees, which just means that they are supplementary. And the converse of all these properties is also true, which means that if any pair of these angles is equal, it will conclude that the two lines will be parallel to each other.
So basically we understand when a transversal cuts two parallel lines, we have the following interesting relationship. The first one says each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Second one, each pair of alternate interior angles are equal. And the third one, that is each pair of interior angle on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. And the converse of these properties are also true. So that means that when these properties are satisfied, we can prove that the lines are parallel. So let's take the exercise 5.2 and apply these properties or theorems in practical problems to solve the problems and find the angles, which will give you a clear idea about these properties. So here I am stating the theorems or the properties one by one. You will have to learn these properties because you'll have to state them while solving some of the questions where the explanations are required. So learn these properties. The first property or the theorem states if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, the alternate interior angles are congruent. Congruent means equal, right? You should also remember the converse of these theorems. The first converse of the first theorem is if two lines are cut by a transversal and the alternate interior angles are congruent, the lines are parallel. Converse of the theorems will help you to prove when you have to solve questions where you have to prove the lines are parallel or not. If the theorems are satisfied, the lines will be parallel. Else, they will not be parallel. Okay? Now the second theorem states, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, the corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, so you have learned that the corresponding angles are equal. So this is the theorem for the same. Now the converse of this same theorem, if two lines are cut by a transversal and the corresponding angles are congruent or equal, then the lines are parallel. Now the third property states, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. And the converse of that, if two lines are cut by a transversal and the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, the lines are parallel. Now let's move to the exercise. So let's begin with the first question. State the properties that are used in the following statement. If A is parallel to B, then angle 1 and is equal to angle 5. So that is the corresponding angle property, that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of corresponding angles are equal, right? Now the second part states, if angle 4 is equal to angle 6, then A is parallel to B. So what is the property? It is alternate interior angles are equal when the lines are parallel. So when a transversal cuts two lines such that the pair of alternate interior angles are equal, the lines have to be parallel. So you have to state the property, right? Now the third one, given if angle 4 plus angle 5 is equal to 180 degree, then A is parallel to B. So in this you have to state the property, when a transversal cuts two lines such that the pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, the lines have to be parallel. Now let's go to the next question. In the adjoining figure, you have to identify the pair of corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, and the pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal and vertically opposite angles. So this is easy. You have already done, I have already told you to do it in the last class. I hope you didn't have a problem. Okay, is it clear? Now let's go to the next question. In the third question, this is the figure that has been given to you. It has been stated that P is parallel to Q and this is a transverse. This angle has been given as 125 degree. Now you have to find angle E, angle A, angle D, angle B, C and angle B. Right? Now you have to use the properties and then find these angles. Right? Now the first one is 125 and angle E. They make a linear pair. So you can state that angle E plus 125 is equal to 180 degree and calculate angle E. Now you will get angle E as 55 degree. Now the second thing that you can use is that angle E and angle F are vertically opposite angles. They will be same. So you can state angle F is also equal to 55 degree. Right? Because they are vertically opposite. Now angle F will be equal to angle A. Why angle F and angle A will be equal? Because they are alternate interior angles. So you have learned the property that alternate interior angles are equal. So angle F will be equal to angle A and you can say angle A will also be equal to 55 degree. Now you know that angle A and angle D make a linear pair, right? So you will see angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. So angle D is equal to how much? 125 degree itself, right? Now this is 125, so angle B will be equal to 125 degree because they are vertically opposite. Angle angle A and angle C are also vertically opposite. So you will say angle A is equal to angle C. So angle C is equal to what? 55 degree. So you will see angle E is equal to 55 degree, angle F is equal to 55 degree, angle A is equal to 55 degree, angle C is equal to 55 degree, whereas angle D is equal to 125 degree and angle B is equal to 125 degree. Similarly, you can write the solution in your notebook which I have given you in the notes. Okay. In the fifth question, this is the figure which has been given to you, and in this angle ABC is equal to 70 degree. You have to, in the first part you have to find angle DGC and in the second part you have to find angle DEF, right? So this angle you have to find and this angle you have to find. So firstly what you have to do is see where is the transversal or where is the parallel lines. So it is given that these two arms are parallel to each other. Okay, now you can extend it. Imagine it in your mind. So this looks like something similar, right? So this are the two parallel lines and these are the two transversals, right? So these are the two parallel lines and these are the two transversals. Here one of the angle is equal to 70 degree. Now you have to find this angle and this angle. What is the method that you have to use? Now you know that angle ABC is equal to angle DGC, corresponding angles, right? Angle ABC and angle DGC are corresponding angles. So you will say this is also equal to 70 degree, right? Now similarly angle DGC will be equal to angle DEF. Why? Because they are also corresponding angles. So what you will say? This is also equal to 70 degree. Simple. Now let's look at the next one. Now let's move to the next question, that is the sixth one, which is a bit different. Here some figures are given and you have to prove whether L and M are parallel to each other. Now while explaining the theorems, I had explained that you can use the inverse of those theorems also. When the theorem is being satisfied, you can prove that the lines are parallel. For example, over here these two angles are given, 126 and 44. The third theorem states that when a transversal cuts two lines such that the pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, then the lines are parallel, right? So this is the converse of the third theorem, right? So you can use that theorem and then prove that if 126 plus 44 is equal to 180, L and M will be parallel, else they are not parallel. So what is 126 plus 44? Yes, so 126 plus 44 is equal to 170, not 180, right? So this is proved that L is not parallel to M, right? If they both are parallel, the angle over here should come as 180. Now in the sixth question, third part says you have to prove that line L and M are parallel to each other. The angle over here is given, these two angles are given as 57 degree and 123 degree. Now the first thing that you can do is this angle you can find because they are vertically opposite. Now you can say this is also 57 degree. Now the third property says when a transversal cuts two parallel lines such that the pair of the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, then the lines are parallel, right? So according to that, 123 plus 57 should be equal to 180 degree. Yes. So if 123 plus 57 is equal to 180 degree, then we can say L and M are parallel. So is the sum equal to 180 degrees? Let's find that. Then 180. So when we do the sum of these two, we get it as 180 degrees. So this is proof that L is parallel to M. You have to state the property and then prove that. Similarly, you can do the second and the fourth part of the sixth question.
So students, we are done for today. Your homework will be to do the exercise 5.2 neatly in your notebook and write down the notes which contains the theorems neatly and learn it to use it in your quiz. In case you have any issues, you can ask me. Thank you. Have a great day.